Okay, here's a continuation of that video I put out about depression, number 1 of 2, that episode, the first episode during puberty. And I talked about just letting myself die, going out of body. I wasn't planning on coming back. I didn't come back, but something did, or me and something did. I don't know exactly. But as my body was laying there, I'm out of body, up above. And then I don't know if it was me or something else came into my body, but it was like something clear and crisp and clean and cool, and it just poured in like water, just into me. And I don't know what that was. I don't know why that happened, but it did. And everything changed. Everything became clear. Maybe it was releasing the negativity, but everything became clear, really, really clear. It's like, say, if you had heavy cataracts and they were removed, you're driving in a fog, and then all of a sudden the fog clears up and you see all the beautiful colors around you. That kind of thing. Or maybe I've never been colorblind, but maybe it would be like a colorblind person seeing all the full colors for the first time. It was like that. All of a sudden, all the colors became very vibrant. Everything became alive to me. Just everything lit up and became alive. And when I breathed in, it was like breathing new and different air. I'd never breathed before. Walking, it's almost like walking through water, because the air itself is alive. Everything is alive. The dirt's alive. The trees are alive. I can almost see the life in them. The sky is alive. Reality itself is alive. And it was a complete change. I don't know why, but it was. Immediately, when that happened, everything started responding. When everything was beautiful like that and clear and clean and alive, I started talking to it. I started talking to everything. I mentioned in other videos, I talk to everything. I really do. I talk to everything. Just, everything I talk to. And a lot of it responds. And it's pretty odd. But I talk to it as friends, and it seems to respond to me as a friend. So it's really strange, really insane. And here's some examples. Well, I've already put out some examples, actually. There's a video earlier about meteors and pulling stars from the sky. I wasn't born with that. That started happening when this happened. And I talk about reality responding. That's what I mean. Not just atmospheric events start responding. I mean, reality started responding. Meteors started appearing when I call for them. And it's not just that 1 or 2 or 3. It's like every time. Just every time. It's really strange, really odd. Insane, I suppose. I guess I am insane. Woohoo. Expect a knock on the door and people drive me away any day for putting all this out there. But anyway, reality itself responded. For some reason, I immediately started calling the skies the Seven Thunders. They were my friends, and I would call them the Seven Thunders, and they responded. I don't know why. It was one entity. The sky's like one type of entity, but it's like 7 aspects of one thing. And that's the way I talk to them. I talk to trees. I talk to the dirt. I talk to everything. Just everything. I know, it's insane. It's completely insane. None of that should work. Immediately this was a small town again. This was Alla, Louisiana, a very small town. The nearest town, bigger town, was like an hour away. And there were times then, as little kids, the parents would want to go to a movie or something. It's an hour drive to go to a movie theater just to get out of that town. And there'd be nights, so if we're driving up to town, and if it was a storm in the distance, I would make sure I was at a window, and I'd be pointing out the window going, make a lightning bolt here, and then one would strike. Make a lightning over here, one would strike. Make it over there, one would strike. That kind of thing. And it always worked. I didn't have to be in a car. I could be anywhere, and it would work. Same thing with the wind. Sitting out is hot. I wanted a cool wind to blow, or want a cool wind to blow, and it'll start blowing. Shoot, I did that. God. Well, I was almost a disaster once. We were at somebody's funeral. I was more of an adult at this point, and somebody was really hot and it was sweaty in Louisiana, really hot and sweaty, and they wanted a real cool wind. So I kind of started blowing across my finger, imagining the wind and blowing. So that's one thing. I didn't have to talk because things respond with mental images, pictures in my head. It responds to that. So I don't have to talk to it. I do just because I like to talk, but I don't have to. It's mental images in my head, and it responds. So what I did is I kind of did like this. Started blowing across my hand so I could have that feel of wind. across my hand, and then the wind started blowing, and it started blowing hard enough. It blew a tin over. I was like, whoops. Sorry. But that's almost a real disaster. You know, got to be careful with that. Anyway, so everything responds. And I was young when this started, really young. Around the time I met my wife in 7th grade, girlfriend, boyfriend. We stopped, dated other people, did that. I had another girlfriend at a time back then. And I hadn't learned to keep my mouth shut at that point, still younger days. Like I mentioned that in Meteors, me and another guy sitting on the car and said, wait, let me try something. I'm trying to pull Meteors out of the sky, which was working, and we were watching Meteors, Blue City Lights, that kind of thing. So I was still trial and error phase, and I hadn't learned to keep my mouth shut yet. So at this other girlfriend, I told her about it, and she didn't believe it. I said, I tell you what, I'll talk to the sky. I'll ask the sky to respond to you. Not even to me, but respond to you. You pick it was about winter here in Louisiana. I said, you pick a day and a time, sometime in the future, any day, any time, don't tell me. You talk to the sky and you tell it when you want it to snow. A day and a time, but don't tell me. She didn't believe me, of course, and everything. She picked a day and a time, didn't tell me. And I talked to the sky and said, please respond to her. You know, she's doing this thing. If you wouldn't mind, please do this. And then it happened. She came back when it started snowing and was totally freaked out because that was the day and the exact time that she had picked. So, yeah, that happened. And, you know, lost that person then, just like always happens. When I say it always happens, you lose friends like this. There was one case that didn't, and I'll bring that up. But pretty much always, you lose people like this because it's not possible. None of this is possible. But after, at least I was born with a lot of the other weird stuff, but for the reality spawning, it's been going on over 40 years now for me, and some intuition is telling me it's time to put this out there. I don't know why, but it's yelling in my head, it's time, do it now. So I'm doing it now. That's why I'm doing it. Otherwise, I would have kept it secret. Again, my family, probably all my friends, all my family have always known I've had some kind of secret. They've all thought it was this gay side of me, and I'm just not talking about it and keep it hidden. They've known about it. I know they've known about it, and they've thought that this was my secret. This strange stuff, this strange happening in my life, family, this is my secret. All this strange crap that goes on in my life is my secret because it does happen. The reality shifting stuff that's happened, it's been going on for 40 years now since that depression episode. It still goes on. I still talk to it. It still responds. Still does. I'll have to make a couple more videos with a few more examples, but I won't get too deep into it because it's a lot. Like I said, it's gone on for 40 years now. The examples would be way too many. Way too many. I did mention quickly a while ago that there was one set of friends that did not freak out, so I'll give that example, then I'll close out with that. I'm in my 40s, I think my early 40s. My wife and I living in Arlington, Texas. We go to the Texas Renaissance Festival down south and around Conroe, Plantersville, Texas, around there. We love to do that. And we went with 2 sets of friends. Both of those are vegan. We were also kind of vegan at the time, not fully, but kind of. But one set of friends, Brian and Yvonne, really open. Well, actually both sets of friends, really open to everything, just everything. We were leaving Texas Renaissance Festival, and it started to rain. Yvonne had on a beautiful red velvet dress. I think it was velvet. It was expensive, really nice, expensive dress. And she was getting really upset because it was going to ruin that nice, expensive red velvet dress, whatever that is. But it was going to ruin it. So I said, okay, wait, let me try something weird. So I looked up at the sky. I said, okay, it'll stop raining like right now. And then it did. It stopped raining right then. I said, it'll hold off until we get into the car. I'm still looking up. It'll hold off until we get into the car. And then it'll start raining again, enough for us to get to the hotel. It'll keep raining until we get to the hotel. As soon as we pull in the parking lot of the hotel, I'm still looking up, it'll stop raining. It'll stop raining long enough for you to get out of the car and get under cover of the hotel awning, whatever that is, the hotel cover, and you're safe. And then it'll start pouring rain, and it will pour all night long. And then that's exactly what happened. It stopped raining instantly, so we could get to the car. Started raining as soon as it shut the car door. Rained all the way to the hotel, about an hour or so away. And as soon as we pulled in the parking lot, it stopped raining. She was able to get out of the car. As soon as she got into the cover of that awning under the hotel cover, it started pouring, and it did pour all night long. She got changed, and she actually came back out, knocked on the door, and made me come out, and was a little bit freaked out about it. About like, how did you know that was going to happen? How did you do that? What just happened? And she was just a little bit freaked out. So I explained to her that I'm a little weird in this capacity, talking to Sky, and sometimes it responds. So I was totally open with them. I mean, they were really open people, so I was open with them about it. And they handled it very well. I didn't lose those friends. They're still over there in the Texas area, Dallas-Fort Worth area. We just moved away, so we've lost contact. But there's some super people. Both those sets of friends are super good people. Very much environmentalists and all this kind of thing. And maybe that's why they were a little more open than most people, because they were way big on it, being environmentalists and animals' rights and all that kind of thing. So they were really open with that, and that was really a breath of fresh air. I'll get into more examples later, but family, you thought I was hiding the gay side of me. The thing I was hiding is this strange happenings side of me, because people can't deal with it. But it's time now, and I don't know why, but it's time.